Canadian home sales this month were down 5.8% compared to November, but still stand 13% above where they were in May. That's according to the Canadian Real Estate Association. For more of an outlook on this year's housing market, we're joined by Ross McCredie, President and CEO of Sutton Group Realty Services. Thanks for being with us, Ross. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me, Mark.
All right, so just as a way to get into this conversation, we have those CREA numbers, the Canadian Real Estate Association. They're forecasting sales growth next year across the country of 8.6% and a nice rebound in the spring. Does that sound about right to you, or are your forecasts different?
Yeah, no, I think that's probably relatively accurate. I always caution people when you look at national home sales or any kind of statistics on a national basis, it really doesn't mean that much to you in your market, probably. So, again, the sentiment's good, and I think the fact that we're moving in the right direction is actually a positive sign.
Right, because real estate's local, as we always hear. Now, in terms of the Bank of Canada, I'm wondering, what have you thought of the demand based on for housing, based on the cuts we've already seen from the Bank of Canada, and the potential for the bank eventually to signal, okay, we're pretty well done here cutting rates? Could that eventually spur more demand?
I think it will a little bit. I think some of that is, we had such a fast increase in terms of rate increases over such a short period of time many years ago. And now we're kind of going back the other way. I think Canadians have just had whiplash, to be honest. And I think in the last year, people just have been super nervous to know what to do. And then on top of that, you've got 1 million homeowners in Canada that have to renew their mortgages this year. And that's been a very stressful time for the past 4 or 5 months. And the relief in terms of the interest rates coming down versus where they could have been 4 months ago, I think that's a really, it's just relief for Canadian homeowners that have to refinance in 2025.
Now, you run a realty company, Sutton Group Realty Services. You do this every day. What are some of the data points, some of the trends that you're seeing that maybe the average person may not know about?
It's a good question. I mean, one of the things that we continue to look at is comparing where Canadians are across jurisdictions, across provinces, really understanding that, my big concern has been for a period of time that Canadians don't have access to data and information like our U.S. friends do. I think Canadians aren't well served with the data and verified data that they're making the decisions on. So I think the big trends right now is people are digging in a little bit deeper. They're asking more questions. They're trying to understand. In the last couple of years, there's been so many changes from a government policy point of view at the provincial level or the federal level or the municipal level that have increased the cost of home ownership in Canada significantly. And I think Canadians are just trying to understand, where I live in BC, I think we've had more tax increases and more new taxes than any jurisdiction I know of in North America.
Now, how much of a headwind could U.S. tariffs and maybe a trade war between Canada and the U.S., how could that impact the housing market?
Well, I mean, it's one of the new things that we're living with. It's the crystal ball doesn't exist when it comes to what's happening in the U.S. right now. I mean, we're seeing things we can't predict because we've never seen them before. If the trade tariffs come in, it's going to have a huge impact. And what it will really do is make people just pause and try to figure out, okay, what does this mean for me? And whenever you have that kind of uncertainty, whether you're a buyer or you're a seller or an investor, it really makes people kind of not know what to do. And a lot of people will hold back. I do think there'll be, I think you'll see a significant amount of homes go onto the market in the spring this year, partly because of that and people being nervous. And then partly the fact that they want to actually they've been sitting off trying to figure out what to do in the last couple of years.
And just lastly here, Ross, if you can maybe look across the country for us and tell us where you're seeing strength and where are there pockets of weakness?
I think in the GTA, we're seeing strength in the high end of the market, right? You're starting to see sales in the $3 to $5 million range. We haven't really seen increase for a number of years. And that really speaks to that clientele actually feeling a little more confident about where Canada sits in terms of the housing market and where values sit. I think one of the big problems we've had in terms of the issues we've had, and you're going to see this a lot in 2025, a lot of developers are going to go under in the next year with product that probably shouldn't have been built. So there is going to be a lot of sentiment out there in terms of negativity around pre-sales and things like that. But I think in the single family category across the country, I think it'll be pretty strong. And I think the multifamily will come back when developers are starting to actually be able to build product that's going to suit the market.